Today I'll be covering addition of integers. We're going to start out with addition with the same sign, which means they're either both positive or both negative. We're going to illustrate this first on the number line. So let's do 4 plus 3. To indicate this on the number line, what you do is you start at 4, and then since it's plus 3, you go 3 in the right direction. 1, 2, 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Now, negative 2 plus negative 3. So you start at negative 2 and you go 3 in the left direction. 1, 2, 3, which equals negative 5. With these simple examples, I hope you can see the pattern where if the numbers have the same sign, either both positive or both negative, you add their values and keep the same sign. 4 plus 3 is 7. Since they are both positive, I keep it positive 7. 2 plus 3 is 5. Since they're both negative, I get negative 5. So for example 1, 15 plus 12. They have the same sign. They're both positive, so I'm just going to add them. 15 plus 12 is 27. They're both positive, so my answer will be positive. B, negative 5 plus negative 6. They are both negative, so I'm just going to add their values. 5 plus 6 is 11. But since they are both negative, my answer will be negative. Now, of course, since we did the same sign, now we'll do addition with opposite signs, like negative 2 plus 4. So you start at negative 2, and you go to 4 right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer is 2. 7 plus negative 10. So you go to 7 and go to the left. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which equals negative 3. Now, if you notice the pattern, it's where if they have different signs, you subtract them and keep the sign of the larger absolute value or the larger number, if that's easier for you to remember. So, since they have opposite signs, one's negative, one's positive, 4 minus 2 is 2. The 4 is larger. Since the 4 is positive, my answer is positive. Positive 7, negative 10. Opposite signs, so subtract them. 10 minus 7 is 3. Since 10 is larger than 7, and the 10 was negative, my answer will be negative. So on to example 2. Example 2, add the following. 32 plus negative 8. Well, 32 is positive, negative 8 is negative, so I'm going to subtract them. 32 minus 8 is 24. And since the 32 was positive and it's our larger number, our answer will be positive. Now, negative 21 plus 9. They have opposite signs, negative, positive, so I'm going to subtract them. 21 minus 9 is 12. Since my 21 was larger and it was negative, my answer will be negative. Negative 5 plus 0. Well, as with whole numbers, same with integers. If you add 0 to it, it just stays the same. So negative 5. Now, addition of integers brings back the case of opposites. And remember, another word for opposite numbers was additive inverses. And this is the reason why. If you take a number and add its opposite, it will always equal 0. So additive inverses. So 8 plus negative 8, since I'm adding 8's opposite, it will equal 0. Now, I do this slightly different than your instructor will do it, but it turns out the same. Adding a negative is the same as subtraction. So 32 plus negative 8 is the same as just 32 minus 8, which is 24. Same answer that we got over here. Now the reason why I do it this way is because I don't like having two signs right next to each other. So I simplify it down into one sign. When we get to subtraction, I'll do the same thing with two negatives. But right now we have a positive and a negative. So I'm going to simplify it down into one negative. They have opposite signs, subtract them, keep the sign of the larger. Now, example 3. Evaluate x plus y if x equals 13 and y equals negative 17. So 13 plus y, which was negative 17. Again, I have two signs right next to each other. Adding a negative is the same as subtraction, so 13 minus 17. They have opposite signs, positive, negative, so I'm going to subtract them. 7 minus 17, minus 13 is 4. The larger number, 17, it's negative, so my final answer will be negative. So 13 plus negative 17 equals negative 4. That's it for the addition of integers. I hope you found this helpful.